Shree Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Taranayaka Shekharam Smitamukhim Apinamakshoruham Panibhyam Alipurna Ratna Chashakam Raktotpam Bibhratim Saumyam Ratna Gadastha Rakta Charanam Dhyayetparam Ambikam. Welcome to all for this session on Lalitopakhyanam. And in the previous chapter, we have seen after the slaying of 30 sons of the Bandasura in the hands of Bala Tripurasundari, then Bandasura sent Vishukra to wage a covert war by first throwing a Jaya Vighna Yantra in the mid of Shakti army. However, on seeing a huge flame protecting the Shakti army from outside, he created the Jaya Vighna Yantra on a stone and threw it in the mid of the Shakti army. And as an effect of the Yantra, the entire Shakti army started losing their willingness to fight against their enemy, and they all wanted to go for a lazy sleep, and they started disrespecting their own commander Mantrini and Dandini, and even stopped worshipping Devi Sri Lalita. And on seeing the fate of their army, both Mantrini and Dandini reported it to Sri Devi Lalita, who then looked deeply into the eyes of Kameshwara, and in the union of from the union of their side there arrived Maha Ganesha to the mid of the battle. Maha Ganesha prostrated before his mother Lalitamba and awaited her orders. Sri Devi smiled on him with affection and said, O son, look at our armies. They have been rendered worthless through the power of the great Jaya Vighna Yantra. Go forth and destroy it so that we may subdue the Danava host who are even now rising a deafening din outside our gates. Maha Ganesha hastened with all speed and espied the great Jaya Vighna Yantra, pregnant with powerful mantras and bearing the 8 devatas of Alasa, Kripana, Dina, Nidra, Chandra, Kamilika, Shiva, and Nirahankara. Taking up the yantra with his mighty trunk, Mahaganesha chewed it to powder between his powerful teeth to the joy of the Devas. He then burnt it all to ashes along with the 8 devatas tied to it. No sooner was the enchantment of the yantra and its attendant devas destroyed than the damsels woke up from their torpor as if rising from a hypnotic sleep, and taking up their arms loudly roared in reply to the din of the Danavas and got ready for battle. Forgetting their previous convictions, Mahaganesha also created fully armed numerous warrior ganas with elephant heads like unto himself. They were all full of cages, each capable of drinking up the 7 oceans. There were 6 mighty leaders by name Amoda, Amoda, Sumukha, Durmukha, Vigna, Vidyakartha, and their army went straight into the Danava army, and they created untold injuries and slew millions of Danavas. There was a veritable massacre indeed. Vishukra and his armies were really taken unawares and surprised, for they had expected something different to happen in view of Vishukra's Jaya Vighna Yantra. Recovering soon from his surprise and looking at the massacre of his Danava armies, he grew very wrathful and exerting his might, let fly arrows and shastras. Soon there was a there was quite a din of elephants, horses, and chariots, etc. But the Danavas were losing fast and they began to flee. They were, however, caught and slain mercilessly. Vishukra then sent Gajasura with 7 Akshauhinis to charge into the ranks of Heramba's armies. And these also were soon vanquished by Maha Ganapati's warriors. Becoming aware of Ganeshwara's great and invincible might, Vishukra left the battlefield and escaped to the Shunyakapuri in haste, while Mahaganapati soon dispatched Gajasura to Yamapuri and slew his entire armies. With a mighty roar of victory, Mahaganapati returned to his mother Lalitamba, who was well pleased with his might and achievements in destroying the Jaya Vighna Yantra as well as routing Vishukra and his armies. Lalitamba gave a boon to Ganesha, stating that no Deva Puja will be fruitful unless Ganesha was first invoked and worshipped, and no effort would succeed without Ganesha's help being first sought for. And that is the reason why even today we do worship of Ganesha before starting with any work, and even before starting any other god, we first do the worship of Ganesha. Thus, in this part of the story, we have seen the great achievement by Mahaganesha, who found that Jaya Vighna Yantra and chew it to the powder and burned all the devatas who were bound to it. And soon after that, the Shakti damsels were written with the vigor and the enthusiasm and started fighting against the Vishukra's Danava army. And at the same time, Maha Ganesha created crores and crores of Vignahartas similar to him in the shape, form, and energy. They all fought against Vishukra. And then Vishukra created a Gajasura with a huge army and sent him for the battle. And that Gajasura was sent to the abode of Yama by Mahaganesha himself, who then went back to his mother, prostrating her. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmir Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam, Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.